Welcome to Art Attack. Loads of great stuff coming up in today's show, so I hope your pencil is as sharp as mine is. Take a look at this look. You can really sharpen your pencil with this ingenious sharpener. It even tidies up for you. And have a relaxing day in the countryside with a big Art Attack. Plus, loads of tips on how to get a misty atmosphere into your paintings. Do you sometimes get fed up with your room? You know, the same old boring wallpaper, drab colours. Wish you could give it your own special makeover? You know, changing rooms and all that? Well, now you can. Give your room a Toon Attack. Wow! Ow! Fun, isn't it? Not only does it give your room a completely different look, there's no decorating involved for the grown-ups. And it's simple to make in 4 easy parts. A 4-part attack. First, design your room. Now, to do this, draw a rough sketch of the layout of your own bedroom. Doesn't have to be neat. Then lay a piece of tracing paper over your sketch and try out different designs. How about a splat on the floor? Or lettering on the wall. Now do cartoony words like wow. And you could even lay on cut-out drawings to see how they would look. How about an arm in there coming around the door, and maybe a leg there like that. Or you could use other cut-out cartoon effects. And you can always copy designs from comics, or just look at them for inspiration. Now you need to turn your drawing into reality. To do cartoon words, draw with a pencil onto a piece of cardboard box card. Now keep the letter big and bold and nice and thick like this, and just keep adjusting it until it's right, and you can overlap letters slightly. Then, to make it more cartoony, draw a sort of shadow around the letters. Just follow the lines of your letters, keeping a couple of centimetres away from the original line. This makes them look 3D, like they're jumping out at you. Just draw them down one side of the letter, like this. Then, when you're happy with your word, cut it out, and then paint it using nice, bright cartoon colours. And when you've painted it and it's dry, just sticky tack it into position. There, just like that. And you can see I've gone around the outside of all these letters in black just to make it more cartoon-like. And on my plan, for an extra toon effect, I've even added an arrow pointing. So there it goes, on it goes. And what's cool? Me. And if you like, you could make each letter of your word individually, like on this one, then glue them together so that they overlap each other for an extra 3D effect. Good, isn't it? And of course, there's lots of other toon effects. How about the good old splattered person routine? For this, just draw a couple of arms onto some more cardboard box card. Now draw the sleeves a little longer than they need to be. And the hands don't have to be too realistic. Just give him sausage fingers, just like that. You could draw around your own hands for this if you want. And do the same with the legs. So draw nice long trousers and add on some cartoon trainers with big fat laces. And put a bit of detail on there as well. Look at your own trainers for this. Then cut all of these pieces out, like that. And to make sure they're at the right angle, hold the pieces up at your door in the position that you want them to be, then make a couple of marks where the edge of the door is. Then join these marks up and cut this end bit off. And if you do the same with all the pieces, cutting those angles will mean that they look right on the door. And again, paint your pieces in nice cartoony bright colours, go round them in black pen, and you'll have something that looks like this. painful. And you don't only have to do people. Ouch, that does look painful. Attacked by a killer wardrobe. Now, your room wouldn't be properly toon attacked, would it, without speech bubbles? There's lots of different shaped speech bubbles that give you different effects. A rounded one like this is definitely spoken word. Ouch. Put an exclamation mark in there for that, I think. And a cloud-shaped one is definitely what someone's thinking, or even sleeping. And you could do a jagged edge like this, and it's more of a shout, help! And a rectangle, a box-shaped one, is good for instructions and information. And they're all made in the same way. Cut the shapes out of cardboard, paint them, and then outline them in black pen. And when you've got all your bits, toon attack your bedroom. Not bad, eh? A boring old bedroom transformed into a toontastic cartoon world. Try it yourself. Toon attack your room. Look at this. I haven't been here for years. When I was at school, I used to come down to this river with my sister. And do you know what we used to do? Let me explain with a big heart attack. Just take a look at this. A simple drawing of some mountains. But these are no ordinary mountains. I'm going to turn these into some atmospheric, misty mountains using a technique called a graduated wash. It's when you paint a wash of colour and you make it gradually lighter the further you go. So first I'm going to paint the sky. Now for this I've got some blue poster paint mixed with a bit of water, and I'm also going to add in a drop of pink just for some interest. There it goes. And a graduated wash works better if you tilt your paper a little bit before you do it. So off we go. Just wash across the top of the paper like that, and watch as it slowly runs down. Not too fast, then gradually just add in some more water the further you go down. Look at that. And as you come down the page, just gradually add in more water, and the colour gets lighter and lighter the further down the page you go. Look at that. Oh, lovely bit of pink in there. Look at that. A bit more water. And when you get down to the horizon, just leave it flat to dry. And there you have a graduated wash. Now, when it's thoroughly dry, now you have to wait for that. And it's not too bad from here because everything dries really quickly in the studio light, so that's not too bad. Now for the Misty Mountains. For this, I need 3 shades of blue. A watery blue for the distant mountains, normal blue for the middle mountains, and a dark blue for the closest mountains. So I'm going to start with the mountains in the distance, a nice, light, sort of wishy-washy blue. And again, same technique. Just paint on your graduated wash, starting at the top there, and just bring it down and make it slightly lighter as it comes. Just add in some water. Watch this, just bring it down again, there you go. Nice and light as it comes down there. See that? And when you get down there to the bottom of the valley, you can even just blot off some of that water to make it even more misty. So there we go, try that. A bit of blot in there. And again, leave it to dry. It must be thoroughly dry before you go on to the next bit of your Misty Mountains, or you'll end up with a misty mess. Yeah, good old studio light again. Very dry. So when it's dry, do the middle mountain range with slightly darker blue, less watery this time, just add a bit more paint. So there we go, in it goes. That's a bit thicker, this paint. And same technique. On goes the graduated wash. There's water in there. And bring the wash down. And again, when you get to the bottom, you can dab off some of that water and paint to create a bit more mist. And again, leave it to dry. And when that's dry, you can do the foreground mountains with your darker blue. Again, start at the top and gradually work in a bit of water as you go on your brush, and it gets lighter and lighter in the valley. And again, dab off some paint at the end to create some more mist. And when that's dry, you can even add in a little silhouette of a castle in black, but again, graduate the colour so that it gets lighter towards the bottom. And there it is, your mysterious Misty Mountain range using graduated washes. And you know, you could even try different coloured washes and different mysterious buildings. How about adding in a few more buildings to make a sort of village silhouette? And if you use shades of red and orange, you get this fantastic sunset effect, like it's somewhere hot. And you could even use sort of pink fantasy colours and make it really fairy tale-like. Try it yourself, use a graduated wash and paint some misty mountains. Okay, I love this bit. Time to have a look at some of your art attacks. And they're all in the Art Attack Gallery. Freddie's created this brilliant picture using a technique called brass rubbing. You simply lay some paper over a brass plate, rub over it with a wax crayon, making the image underneath come through. And I love this collage of a pepper made by Phoebe and Nerea. It just shows with a bit of teamwork you can produce stunning results. And look at this, I really like this card that Emily's made. I think placing the pretty paper border all around the edge has finished it off to perfection. Yeah, great card idea from Emily. Now, when you're making cards or folding anything in half, does this happen? You know, it just doesn't seem to match up, and you end up with a wonky card that doesn't stand up. Well, here's a little trick that'll stop that happening ever again. All you have to do is make sure you take hold of both corners like this, and then match them to the other corners. So that's 2 corners on 2 corners, and then carefully, when they're matched, press back to make the fold. And if you always fold your card like this, making sure you match those corners, you'll have perfect folds and perfect cards every time. Good, eh? So where were we? Ah, yes. Sharmina's design is based on a drawing she did of a pile of sweets, but she took it one step further and created a fantastic art attack out of wool. Now look at this. This painting's got loads of movement in it. These 2 lively frogs look like they've just hopped out of the pond and are jumping all over the place. And take a look at this masterpiece created by the Year 2 pupils of Rustington School. They've really managed to capture the feel of an industrial landscape. Nice one, guys. And I love this picture by Scott. It's such an original idea. He used pencil shavings for the peacock's feathers. A fiddly technique, but a brilliant result. Yeah, great picture, Scott. It's nice to see pencil shavings doing something good for a change. Usually, they make such a mess, don't they? You don't know where to put them. You end up having to go all around the house to sharpen your pencil in the bin. Not anymore. Why not bring the bin to you? And here it is. Look at that. Not only does it collect all your shavings, but it also sharpens your pencil for you. Watch this. Look at that. Perfect. To make a dustbin pencil sharpener, first find a pot like this, then a little way up from the bottom, use a sharp pencil and push a hole through. Now it can be a bit tough to do this, and you know my old motto, when the going gets tough, get someone else to do it for you. Then draw around the bottom of your pot twice onto some cardboard box card, cut the circles out and stick them together with some PVA glue so you have a little stack like this. And when the glue dries, take a pencil sharpener and place it just at the edge of your circle and draw around it. Now the idea is to create this pencil sharpener shape in the circle and then cut this little section out, but cut it out within the lines so that you then put the pencil sharpener back in and it's a nice tight fit. And you can always put some glue around the edge to keep it stuck firmly in place. Then put some more glue on the underneath of the card circle. Just slop it on nice and thick like this. And now the slightly tricky bit. You need to line your pencil sharpener up with the hole at the bottom of the pot and then push your card circle all the way down into the pot. You could use a ruler to do this, but you need to make sure the pencil sharpener lines up with the hole. And you could always pop in a pencil and jiggle it about just to make sure the position is right before the glue dries. Then scrunch up some newspaper and pad up the lid a little. See that? And you use lots of tape for this, keep it firmly in place. One on there like that, and another one there. And then add on a small twist of newspaper to make a handle. Again, taping it on either side like this. Now for those little pokey out eyes, roll up 2 balls and tape them underneath the rim of the lid. And to make everything a bit neater, paste on a layer of tissue paper with PVA glue mixed with a little water. On it goes. And this will just toughen everything up. And on goes the tissue paper like that. So when you've covered it all and it's dry, it looks something like this. And I've even added some handles on the side as well. Then all you need to do is paint it. Now I've painted the bin with metallic silver paint and added some grey lines for detail. And I've even added a couple of black dots for the eyes. Good, isn't it? And not only does it look good, but it works too. You just pop your pencil in, give it a sharpen, and all the shavings go straight in the bin. Look at that. Perfect.
There you have it, Neil showing us super cool, artistic creations on his awesome show Artbot. You know, let's keep the, let's keep the art stuff going. That was Art Attack. This is Artbot. Wow. Let's take a look at some of your drawings. By the way, TVO kids, you can draw or construct anything on Artbot 2.0, and then you can send it over to the gallery section, which is what we are looking at right now. Take a look at this cool rainbow sent in from Hinata, who is 10 from Mississauga. This is cool. All she did to